So I'm going to talk a little bit in this one about the Writing Fellows and the Writing Center portions of this class. As I've mentioned in several different lectures and assignments and emails and all that fun stuff, this class is really about professionalism, taking critiques, formatting, communication, all of the above. And the Writing Fellows and Writing Centers are a huge part of that. So I'm going to talk just briefly about the professionalism and mindset briefs. I'll talk about what the Writing Fellows purpose is, both kind of broader scope and then technical purpose, and then talk about the online writing center and then the 3 assignments that you guys have with relation to these things. So obviously aviation is probably arguably the most professionally career industry organization group, all of the above out there. Your job is to act professionally, and a lot of that includes obviously showing up on time. It includes trying to communicate in a way that whatever culture you're around accepts. It includes showing your best face, so to speak. It includes your confidence. It includes all of that. So practice being professional during class, practice being professional in your assignments, practice being professional with the Writing Fellows. And this all is a mindset thing. I'm not going to lie though, actually when I started using the Writing Fellows for this class, everybody's grades skyrocketed because the Writing Fellows will basically help you correct any issues that you have on your papers. So you guys probably get super sick of hearing the growth versus fixed mindset thing, but basically no one is stopping you. Nothing is stopping you from learning. You guys have heard, most of you anyway, have heard of the hazardous attitudes, and this is all about resignation. Don't fall into that. Don't be resigned. So the 2 purposes here. These are mission statements from each of the things that we'll be using. And I'm not going to sit and read them word for word or anything. You guys can kind of go over that. I know the image is blocking the one side just a little bit. But basically, each organization, whether it's the Writing Fellows or USU Writing Center, which they're actually both run by the same people, their goals are to try to create a culture of, I have an idea, I put it in writing, I go get feedback, and I revise. And I have an idea, put it in writing, I go get feedback, and I revise. Okay, this idea of first draft only, and that's your only draft, is something that we want to try to get rid of, and especially as we start to use AI more in our writing and in our drafting, which we will do in this class. You can't just spit it out one time and call it good. You have to rework it several times, and so that's really what these programs are about as far as the Writing Center itself is concerned. So the Writing Fellows program, if you take this class in the fall, that is what you will be using, period. Okay. The USU Writing Center, if you take this class in the summer, that is what you will be using. Okay, and so kind of keep that in mind whether you're fall or summer. Fall, I typically have 2 sections. I have one online and one Connect. Both sections use the Writing Fellows. Okay, and then summer is all online. You will use the USU Writing Center. Okay. So the whole point again is about feedbacks and taking critiques. If you really think about it, especially those of you that are pilots, this is a debrief. Okay, your CFI sits with you, gives you feedback, gives you critiques. You end up a lot of the time in a classroom with others, and your whole goal is to improve. You need to get good enough to go out and fly. This is the same thing, just apply it to writing. Okay, so the Writing Fellows and the Online Writing Center, the goal is to improve your communication intensive assignments. You are going to focus on format and focus on professionalism for those assignments. I'm going to show you some examples of them, okay? In other words, you have to be on time, you have to be courteous, you have to come prepared to them. When you are ready to get signed up for your appointments, do it early. Okay, read the directions for each assignment. When it comes time for the fall, you guys will have a couple of writing fellows that reach out to you. We'll create a couple of little lectures and stuff that introduce you to your writing fellows, and it'll be very obvious what you're supposed to do as long as you actually follow directions. Okay, so this is what your 3 writing fellows or writing center assignments look like if you're in the assignments tab. Hopefully you guys have figured out by now that if you only use the assignments tab or you only use the calendar, you don't see anything. So make sure you use the modules tab, not the assignments or calendars. So these are the 3, and you can see the approximate due dates on them, how far apart they are. This would be based off of a summer semester, so you can kind of add, you know, the first one would be due probably about 4 weeks in. The next one about 8 weeks in, and then the last one 11 weeks in or so. So your job is to have a full draft ready before those dates. You will be added to a Writing Fellows Canvas page if you're there in the fall. Obviously pay attention to who your writing fellow is, like I just talked about, and then don't save these for the last second. You won't make it. Okay. Remember that poor planning is not the fault of the writing fellow. Okay, for summer, you guys have a chunk there on the directions. You have 2 options that you can complete for the summer. So remember, 3 assignments, 2 options. You have to use option 1 at least once out of those 3 times. Option 2, you can use it twice if you want to. You can use option 1 all 3 times if you want to, but you cannot use option 2 all 3 times. Okay, option 1 is a little bit more intense and makes you actually look at your writing a little more. So I want you to use it at least once. The Writing Center link is on all of the assignments, and again, that's for summer only. Option 1 is when you make an appointment with a Writing Center fellow and you're going to focus on formatting, and I have you write me an email and CC your writing fellow. You're going to thank them for the appointment, and I am going to follow up with professional questions for the writing fellow, so that, you know, we can grade you on their professionalism as well as your formatting. Option 2, you can click on that second link. You can use any 2 sources, consider what you might need to work on, and then write me a reflection paper. A couple-page reflection paper about what you learned, how you're going to use them, cite your sources, all that fun stuff. Okay. And then for fall, this course includes meetings. You'll actually have a meeting with the writing fellows for your job application package, your instructions, procedures, and manuals, and then your collaborative report. And you will be practicing showing up on time, being courteous, dressing professionally, communicating appropriately and timely, taking feedback, being prepared with questions, and in all honesty, simply showing up in the first place. So those are your basic directions for each of the writing fellows or center assignments. The third one is a little bit different. If you notice those bold words up in the top, the general directions for the assignment are the same. However, only one person from your group needs to complete this assignment. Again, hopefully you already know this. You do have a group assignment in this class, whether you're fall, summer, online, Connect, doesn't matter. You have a group assignment. That person's grade goes towards the whole group. You can choose to send 1 person, 2 people, everybody, whatever. Your group gets to decide how to handle that situation. So other than that, the directions are the same for the Writing Center or the fellows. So again, the main thing I want to emphasize here is if you're in the summer, you're using the Writing Center online. So that's option 1 and option 2 on that paper. If you're fall, you're using the Writing Fellows program. So you're going to talk to another human being. You're going to be added to another class, another Canvas class. Okay. And it doesn't matter the modality in the fall, either one of them, whether it's online or Connect, you're still using the Writing Fellows program. All right. As always, let me know if you guys have any questions.